Hi my friends, I want to read you one of my favorite pumpkin stories. This is called The Legend of Spookley the Square Pumpkin. This is written by Joe Troiano and it's illustrated by Susan Banta. Here's the title page. Has anybody ever seen a square pumpkin before? I haven't. Let's get started. One day in the pumpkin patch, the strangest little pumpkin hatched. Spookley wasn't like his friends, where they had curves. He had ends. Spookley was different. He was odd. He was rare. Spookley the pumpkin wasn't round. He was square. While the round pumpkin had fun rolling along, poor Spookley sat there shaped all wrong. He tried and tried with all of his might, but he couldn't budge. He just sat tight. The other pumpkins teased him because he was square. Spookley wished he was round and could roll everywhere. That is, until one night when they all discovered it's fine to be round when the weather is fair, but there are times it's better to be square. Halloween was just a day away when a mighty storm blew across the bay. It tossed the round pumpkins to and fro, and it snapped their vines, and off they'd go. Bouncing left, slamming right, banging, bashing, what a sight. Spookley sat there filled with fright, but glad to be a square that night. So since he was a square, he didn't go rolling all around like the rest of them did. Suddenly, the fence gave way. 3 pumpkins rolled into the bay. Spookley knew what must be done. It was up to him. He's the one. He teetered, he tottered, he tipped, he tried, and finally flipped. He was on his side. Again he tipped, again he flopped, again he flipped, and then he stopped. Right in the gap where the fence had snapped. He blocked the way, the hole was capped. All the pumpkins shouted, hooray! Spookley the Square Pumpkin had saved the day. Then a pumpkin hit him with a whack. He thought his shell would start to crack. Then another one hit him with a thump, and another one with a smack. Then, one by one, a ton of pumpkins piled on the stack, with a bang and a bash and a crunch and a crash. And then it went all black. At dawn, when the storm had stopped, the farmer came out and checked his crop. He picked his pumpkins up one by one and laid them out to warm in the dry sun. When the last was moved away, the farmer could see what had saved the day. An odd-shaped pumpkin, short and dense, was wedged across the broken fence. Its shell was bruised, its stem too, but there was a brave little Spookley sitting straight and strong and true. Right then and there, the farmer knew, and all the seeds he'd ever sown, Spookleys were the most special that had ever grown. And the next year, when it was time to sow, he sowed those seeds in every row. He watered and he weeded and he watched them grow. And oh! That morning about mid-June when the pumpkin patch began to bloom, there were tiny pumpkins everywhere, hundreds and hundreds of most of them square. But some were cubes and some rectangular, some were flat and others triangular. There was a bed of bright red ones and 2 rows of blue. There were polka dotted pumpkins and rainbow ones too. There were thousands of colors and hundreds of shapes. Oh, what a garden variety can make. Now every year on Halloween, Spookley's patch is quite a scene. People come from far and near to see what wonders grew that year. They stop, they gawk, they gaze, they stare. Then they pick a pumpkin that's round, triangular, or perfectly square. Now you know the story of how Spookley grew. Maybe someday you'll tell someone too. And they'll go tell someone who go tell another. Then maybe one day we will all discover that we can't judge a book or a pumpkin by its cover. The end. I hope you loved this story all about Spookley and his adventures in the pumpkin patch. So I want to know, if you could be a pumpkin, what shape would you be? Think about it and let me know. I'll see you soon.